According to Jenna Breyer's Fox News Report article, college students surprisingly fat, getting even fatter. Nearly half of the male college students surveyed were overweight or obese, and nearly 30% of college females are overweight or obese. Even though I am a non-traditional student, and there are many like me, I've walked across Central Community College campus and currently walk across the Wayne State College campus, and it is natural for me to notice the size of my other classmates. I'm currently using all of my own willpower in order to take control of my own body. I've even persuaded my sister and her boyfriend to take this challenge with me. In order to become and maintain a healthy body, one must take control of their daily food intake, add exercise, and even decrease their personal vices such as alcohol. In this speech, I will convince you to take charge of your body by making you rethink what you eat, think about how much you actually exercise, and how much you actually party. To begin, we all need food, right? But how much do we actually need? As a person who is trying to become healthier, I refuse to use the word diet. Diet to me is more like a fad. It comes and it goes. What I am doing is I am pursuing a healthier lifestyle. I'm making lifestyle changes. And according to Chapter 2 of the Dietary Guidelines for Americans, females ages 19 to 30 should only consume between 1,800 and 2,400 calories, while men in the same age range should consume 24 to 3,000 calories. This sounds like a lot, but it's not at all. If you actually take time and log exactly how many calories you eat in a day and then look at these guidelines, I bet most of you are going to find out that you go way overboard, especially since we're college students. College students depend on good, fast, easy, and cheap meals, basically, because we're all on limited budgets, and let's face it, a lot of you don't even have kitchens to make healthy meals. So when you go through McDonald's and you decide to get a Big Mac, according to their website, one Big Mac sandwich, this sandwich is 550 calories. Right now, I hope you're keeping in mind exactly what your calorie counts should be with what I just said due to your age and your gender. You go to BK and get a Whopper with cheese. It's over 700 calories according to the Burger King website. You go to Pizza Hut and you get a large slice of Meat Lover's Pizza, and who can just eat one slice? But one slice is over 420 calories. That's not including the breadsticks and the wings and the pop that you've also included in your meal. So for us college kids, the biggest things that suck down our daily calories in a very unhealthy way are fast food, as I just said, energy drinks, which start at 100 calories only per 8 ounces. Think of that Monster you just had. That Monster is more than 8 ounces. That can is almost 300 calories in itself. And of course, pop, because we all know we need the caffeine. But regular pop starts from 140 calories to 170 calories per 12-ounce can, according to Pepsi website and Coca-Cola company's websites. So by watching what we eat and being attentive to calories, is that enough? Not exactly. Basically, we must also exercise. I cannot just sit here and eat one McDonald's meal a day, be under my calorie count, and have a sedentary lifestyle, basically meaning no activities at all. I'm still gonna look like a big mess, basically. So most of us do need to add exercise to our diets, but how much exercise? There are two different kinds of physical activity that you can do, or three actually. You can be sedentary, you can be lightly active, or you can be very active. The way most of the websites state, if you're sedentary, like I said, you don't exercise. If you're lightly active, it means you can exercise and yet be able to carry on a conversation while you're working out. If you're active, it's when you're huffing, you're puffing, you can't say anything at all. And as stated in the Physical Activity Guidelines for Americans, physical activity can make you feel stronger, and more alive. And of course, we all know it can make you healthier. But for my experience as a parent and as a college student, it is hard to actually fit in exercise. I know this. And as I'm counting my calories on my awesome Android phone app, MyFitnessPal, I also have to watch adding exercising. I had to actually add, even after running around kids, driving everywhere, I had to add 30 minutes of exercise a day to make sure that I can keep my calorie count down. And just to make sure also that I burned off the 5 cookies I ate while I was baking my kids' cookies. So by now you're probably contemplating whether or not you meet some of these food and exercise guidelines. Some of you are probably thinking, well, I still don't care, you know, whether or not I'm meeting these. You know, I'm still skinny, I don't look like I'm unhealthy, and I actually, sometimes I feel pretty good. But another thing to think about is, as adults, which we all are, especially those of us in college, we are subjected to one of the #1 additives to our calorie count, and that's alcohol. But of course, what does this have to do with taking control of our bodies? You would be shocked if you would investigate the amount of calories there is in one beer. Basically, unless you're drinking a Budweiser Select, which is under 99 calories, Budweiser 55, which is 55 for 55 calories, and then I believe there is a Miller beer that is 64 calories. Any beer you drink, even if it's a light, is over 100 calories per drink. So if you think back to that number, say I have a sedentary lifestyle, I don't do anything all day, I should only be eating 1,800 calories, and I just drank a 6-pack of beer, I just had over 600 calories in my diet. And who stops at just drinking beer? Most of the time when people are drunk, they go and they call the Pizza Hut and they eat their meat lovers pizza and their breadsticks and drink maybe a little bit of more pop or maybe a little bit more beer. Your daily calories are completely shot by the end of this. And according to Chapter 2 of Dietary Guidelines for Americans, alcohol is the top calorie contributor in diets, beverage-wise. And if you've read any of my previous posts, you know that I'm not a big consumer of alcohol. But I can share a quick story of my sister who is doing this challenge with me. She's 22 years old, and she was a typical young adult, basically. She went out Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and they would drink, and they would call Pizza Hut, and they would do all the fun things that I know a lot of younger college kids do. Well, she had been completely sober dry for over 20 days, and this past weekend, when we decided to go out, she actually drank a few beers. That next day, even though she only had maybe 5 or 6 beers, she was completely hungover, and she hadn't felt as worse as she did for the longest time, she told me. Being and doing this challenge with me has actually made her contemplate her lifestyle, and she is choosing to make lifestyle changes. She actually told me that she can't do it anymore. She's only 22, but she's going to decrease her drinking to only maybe 1 night a week instead of doing it 3 nights a week, because she never realized how well her body felt when she wasn't drinking. So, how are you feeling about your body right now? Because in conclusion, in order to gain and maintain a healthy body, we must account for what we eat. We need to add exercise to our daily schedules. And Sally, a lot of you may not like this, but we need to decrease or quit our partying ways. And the big point here is, yes, we all may be young now, and we may feel like we have plenty of time to adapt to a healthier lifestyle. Oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. But so you know, as we grow older, our metabolisms, they completely slow down. When later comes, it's going to be harder. So that's why our choices today are actually going to affect what happens to us tomorrow.